Hello, I'm Ross Twiddell from Cultaholic.com and welcome to all the WTF moments from SummerSlam 2020. A show, first of all, that we didn't see coming, but we all saw anyway. And second of all, a show that was, by and large, very, very good. Was there a couple of underwhelming moments? Yes, there was. Was there a couple of moments where the booking was really, really silly? Yes, there was. But the good way outweighed the bad. And that is lovely to see. But let's crack on by looking at all of those WTF moments. Hit the intro, my pal in the sky. WTF! Now just imagine those Jackie Chan things Adam Pacitti used to do on his live streams during the lockdown era, but instead of hearing, there he is, you hear, it's John o'clock, you bastards, get in there! Because he's there. And then we had what is potentially the most heartbreaking quote professional wrestling has seen this calendar year, this year of all years, when Renee Young said, I'm excited to be here doing my last hurrah. And that's it. She is leaving. SummerSlam 2020 was Renee Young's last appearance for WWE. WWE have lost their best broadcaster by a country mile. And if that's not a WTF moment, I don't know what is. Now say what you want about Renee Young's time on commentary, where she was hamstrung by the powers that be, who inexplicably reduced that very talented broadcaster to inconsequential sound bites. That makes no sense whatsoever. Renee Young was great for WWE. She was one of the few people you watched on the air thinking, wow, she's an actual human being and not a robot who speaks silly like the silly cartoons that WWE sometimes are. And I tell you what, you can take those Renee Young to AEW rumors and you can shove them right up your arsehole. She's better than professional wrestling. Get her on Good Morning America, the Ellen DeGeneres Show, whatever you want. Renee Young can do it. I'll miss Renee me. Dun 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 dun. Don't cream your teeth everywhere too soon, Kevin Dunn, man. We had it established. JBL himself, he is WWE Hall of Fame elect. He is not a bona fide WWE Hall of Famer just yet. Wait until the ceremony, Kevin, before you put graphics like that one there on the screen. A ceremony, by the way, where JBL will be Texas two-stepping his way across the stage like the twat he is before he falls over. Watch, I bet it happens. Tea time. And then we have a direct quote from Booker T himself when he says, who knows Bray Wyatt the best? It's Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman isn't going to be tripped up by anything. Well, shucky, ducky, quack, quack, smacked my arse and called me Donald Duck. Booker T has not been watching SmackDown recently, has he? Braun Strowman has quite literally gone from babyface man with lovely flowing mullet to absolute arsehole heel with a massive baldy heat who throws women round like there's no tomorrow. I don't know about you, Booker T, but I firmly believe that Braun Strowman has tripped up and then tripped up some more and then tripped up a little bit more for good measure. And then we hear Charlie Caruso say we have the Raw Tag Team Champions standing backstage with Sarah Schreiber. And I know WWE have been saying you'll never see it coming in the build-up to SummerSlam 2020, but WWE, you cannot just use that tagline there and then blatantly lie about what's coming up next. Of course we'll never see it coming. If you say one thing's coming and then something completely different, that comes our way, right in our faces. Charlie quite clearly letting her fantasies, yes, Angel Garza as a champion in WWE, her fantasies get in the way of the television show. How unprofessional from Charlie Caruso, who, by the way, nobody appears to like. Booker T, JBL, most people on that Kickoff panel were saying nobody likes Charlie Caruso, and I'm asking where the hell does that come from? If you know, let me know. Now then, I'm sure I'm not the only person asking the question, how the hell does Renee Young know that if you're in a group and your group wants to have matching tracksuits, you don't all go down to Target at the same time, you send one person down to get the matching tracksuits for everybody inside the group. That's not how groups work, Renee Young said, when I think it was Peter Rosenberg said, well, if they want to get tracksuits, do they all go down to the shops at the same time? What's Renee Young's game here, I'm asking? Imagine, right, if Renee Young leaving WWE was a massive old Workington and Renee Young was the brains behind Retribution, who, by the way, I love the fact they weren't a part of SummerSlam. I love that WWE beefed up their security to make sure that Retribution bollocks didn't ruin what was a fantastic professional wrestling show. But that's besides the point. Renee Young, how do you know so much about groups, eh? And it turns out that MVP's theme, I'm coming! Nobody can stop me, nobody can hold me, nobody can... It turns out that I'm coming is actually going because that monumental banger anthem of a theme, it's been replaced. And I don't know about you, but in my humble opinion, as I stand here in front of you, a no-good hack on the internet who knows nothing about music, I'm coming. That was so much better than North Side is ballin', East Side is ballin', West Side is ballin', now down there's ballin' too. So much better, in fact, I felt compelled to make it a WTF moment. What do you do in WWE music, people? Dun 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 dun. Come on, Kevin Dunn, how long do you need to update these graphic things according to the news, which is always absolutely correct? WWE have had their hands on that new United States title since all the way back in December, and that's still being shown at the biggest party of the summer at SummerSlam 2020. What's going on there, Kevin? And then we have Tom Phillips doing what Tom Phillips does best, and that is face fornicating the poo out of a line on WWE commentary when he claims, oh, what an atmosphere we have here inside of the WWE ThunderDome. With our piped in canned crowd noise, the people who aren't watching the live feed of SummerSlam 2020 presumably can't even hear. Wow, it must be deafening. What a racket. And wouldn't you just know it, Gimmick Infringement Kane has made his return to WTF Moments on the Cultaholic YouTube channel because Gimmick Infringement Kane let me know that during SummerSlam he heard Pamela, otherwise known as WWE SmackDown Women's Champion and Women's Tag Team Champion Bayley, infringing on somebody's gimmick, and that person was Pamela, Chris Jericho, as you, Pamela, called Asuka a stupid idiot. Not my words, the words of Gimmick Infringement Kane. And because you infringed on somebody else's gimmick, dear Pamela, it turns out that Gimmick Infringement Kane is going to wait until you go to the supermarket next time. He'll see a pack of tomatoes in your shopping trolley. He'll remove those packet of tomatoes from your shopping trolley, and you won't even notice until you get home. That's what kind of an evil bastard he is. A lady on the screen inside the ThunderDome at SummerSlam 2020. That is rarer than a solid 8 hours sleep inside of Vince McMahon's bed. No, not because he's some kind of genetic jackhammer. It's just because he's weird and sleeps 3 hours at a time or something. And of course, by rare, the sight of a lady on one of the screens inside the ThunderDome. It just never happens apart from there, really, does it? How rare are they? So rare. Champion's advantage for Bayley, but Sasha Banks does not get involved in the match until right at the end. Talk about things that make you go, Well, that one made me go, a little bit. Now, of course, Sasha Banks would want Asuka versus Bayley to go as long as possible. So Asuka was completely cream-crackered by the time their match comes around later in the night. But within the realms of the golden role models supposedly being best pals, well, that made me go, When you think about it, that match there could have ended via DQ after 1 second if Sasha Banks wanted it to, and it didn't, and it backfired. So Sasha Banks, bit of a pleb really, isn't she? Maggle, 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 maggle. And I don't know if it was just me, but was anybody else like, what? Hell no. Ha! Hold up, Maggle Cole, when Maggle Cole claimed that Sasha Banks and Bayley forced Kairi Sane to retire from WWE. Isn't it so cool, guys, he reckoned. Calm down, man, Maggle. That's a bit of a stretch, man. Now I've got to make Zelina Vega's boots at SummerSlam 2020 a WTF moment. Now, this might just be because I watch way too much main roster WWE TV, but you know exactly when Zelina Vega is going to get physically involved in a match. When she does, she's wearing flat bottom shoes. When she's not going to get involved, she's wearing massive, impossibly tall heels. And if we at Cultaholic know anything, we know that the little things in professional wrestling matter a hell of a lot. AJ Styles told us this much in a previous life back at an old job. And it probably is just me and my sad, pathetic life as I go through these WWE shows with a fine-tooth comb. But that little thing, being Zelina Vega's boots, that does my titties in. Zelina, rectify this issue, always wear flat boots, you know? Yeah. And Tom Phillips is back once again, this time claiming, wow, Montez Ford has made a full recovery. And I was thinking, Tom Phillips, you were there on Monday night last week, calling Monday Night Raw, watching Montez Ford do all of the flips, watching Montez Ford doing some more of the flips, watching Montez Ford do the rest of all the flips. We already knew that Montez Ford had made a full recovery 2 weeks after being poisoned by Zelina Vega. And I'll repeat what I said on the WTF Moments for last Monday's Raw. Zelina Vega needs a better poison dealer. I know a man. Who's that Pokemon? Bloody hell, what's my life come to? Anyway, it turns out it's Pikachu, and Pikachu was on WWE SummerSlam 2020 for an impossibly long time. And it's a miracle Pikachu made it on the screens for so long, and it's also a little bit ironic. Because surely the powers that be who controls what appears on the ThunderDome screens would have been having a little Pikachu to make sure you weren't being naughty and doing things you weren't meant to be doing. And then we had a sequence of really randy events. Angel Garza whaps off his trousers. We know that's going to happen. We did expect that to happen. Tom Phillips, as always, goes, there goes the pants. And then Byron Saxton, he cracks up and says, thank goodness. And I'm sure just like Kevin Owens, every single person watching SummerSlam 2020 was like, Byron? What? But I guess Big Byron likes sexy Angel Garza. Big Byron likes sexy Angel Garza. Big Byron has the hots for Angel Garza. And it would appear that Gimmick Infringement Kane is making his second appearance at SummerSlam 2020, once again concerning Pamela, not Beasley. Yes, this time Bayley was infringing on the gimmick of one Kenny Omega. And with the threat already posed to Pamela's tomatoes at the supermarket, Gimmick Infringement Kane has let me know that next time he sees Pamela drinking a cup of tea at the Performance Center and she leaves that alone for a mere second or two, Gimmick Infringement Kane is going to take a whiz in Pamela's cup of tea, because to be quite frank, in Gimmick Infringement Kane's opinion, why does Chris Jericho always get to have the TP-related fun in WWE? And just like on the SmackDown WTF Moments for Friday's episode, once again I'm throwing all the credit in the world to both Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville for turning up to work and putting on a fine performance. A pair of really strong women, I tell you what. But I've got to make this a WTF moment, because this here from Mandy was really weird. Mandy tried once, it didn't work. She tried twice, it still didn't work. She then pushed it under the ring. I've got no idea why she did that and what she was expecting to happen after she did do that. And then finally, on the fourth go around the table, finally goes the right way up. And just in case Bubba Ray Dudley is watching this here video, I'm here to tell you, pal, if you ever need to get the tables and Devon Dudley is busy, never ever ever shout, Mandy, get the tables, because I don't think she can. This was weird. And for the third time at SummerSlam 2020, we've got to bring back Gimmick Infringement Kane. If you want me to stop bringing Gimmick Infringement Kane into these videos, please let me know in the comments below. But Gimmick Infringement Kane is back for a third time because somebody in the crowd at the ThunderDome, as Vince McMahon would say, is infringing on Kane's gimmick. He's gonna burn you in hell, pal. And with that defeat, not only is Sonya Deville now without a job in WWE, she's on the unemployment line, but Sonya Deville, with that defeat, now has the worst pay-per-view record for any superstar in WWE history. No wins, 11 straight defeats. She can't catch a break at the minute, can she? That's a horrible blow. And this wasn't lost on me as well, by the way. We have a very serious moment. Sonya Deville has just lost her job. Everybody's feeling sorry for Sonya. She's going mental at ringside. A very serious, a very emotional moment. Then Otis, my pal Otis, my bay and spirit animal now that Rusev has gone, he comes down to the ring, he starts jiggling his belly, doing the caterpillar, everybody's laughing. We've gone from one extreme to the other in double quick time, and that was weird. And also funny, but also heartbreaking for Sonya. I felt very sorry for Sonya. Poor Sonya. I miss Sonya. Sonya's been great over the past few months. I hope she does come back in the not too distant future.
Made a grave mistake, Corey.
And then we have a direct quote from Corey Graves when he says Otis is absolutely thrilled that Mandy Rose doesn't have to leave WWE. He doesn't even know how to use Tinder. And I didn't realise that all relationships didn't last when one half of any relationship leaves WWE, leaving the other half of the relationship still in WWE. Corey Graves, I reckon John and Renee, they've got to say hello to you. So on one hand, we've got Seth Rollins rubbing Ronald's face right in it, right in all of the piss. As the Monday Night Messiah had an attire, hey, that rhymes, an attire dedicated to Mysterious Senior. But in a WTF moment that I certainly did not see coming, Dominik's attire, that was a tribute, no, not to his father, but a tribute to D'Lo Brown. That is one hell of a chest protector ting. Although after the match, the attire did make sense because Dominik proved beyond any shadow of any doubt, just like Pat McAfee at NXT TakeOver XXX, the he, like Pat, is the real deal. Head wobble, D'Lo Brown's great. But I've just got to mention it as well. Who the hell thought the hood on Dominik's attire was a good idea? Never again, Dom.
Yep, I wrong, yep, I wrong.
Now you might have just heard the buy wrong, the buy wrong thing on these WTF Moments videos, but it turns out in this buy wrong moment that Byron Saxton is actually absolutely right, as he rightly says that Dominic Mysterio has had several years training inside the professional wrestling ring. I'm only making this a WTF moment because of WWE storytelling making absolutely little sense. And that's because a short couple of weeks ago we had Samoa Joe in the ring on Monday Night Raw claiming that Dominic Mysterio had little to no training inside the professional wrestling ring. Imagine saying that about Dominik after we've seen Dominik hit a gnarly 619, after we've seen Dominik at the hands of Brock Lesnar bump like Dolph Ziggler after Dolph Ziggler's had one too many sweeties. Imagine that, man. Thank you, Byron Saxton, for rectifying that load of bollocks right there. And there we have the most emotional WTF moment of the night at SummerSlam 2020. There we see Dominic Mysterio hitting the finishing maneuver of his biological father at SummerSlam 2020, 15 years after his biological father, Eddie Guerrero, of course, and Roman Mysterious fought over his custody in a ladder match. Some WTF moments just make you really emotional, and seeing Dom do that really did it to me. It was just like your pappy, Dom. It was just like your pappy. And for the benefits of Tom Phillips and Tom Phillips alone, no, Tom, Eddie Guerrero is not Uncle Eddie to Dominic Mysterio. The storyline heading into SummerSlam 2005 and the 15 years since, by the way, nobody has said beyond any shadow of any doubt that Eddie Guerrero is not actually the biological father of Dominic Mysterio. Eddie Guerrero is not Uncle Eddie to Dominic Mysterio, Tom Phillips. He is Dominic Mysterio's daddy. Not like that, you saucy bastard. Eddie is Dom's pappy. And I cannot be the only person watching SummerSlam 2020 asking what the hell happened to that chair. How the hell did that chair just suddenly fill up with helium, and when Dominic Mysterio threw it across the ring, it didn't just sort of go a little bit into the ring, it flew right across to the other side of the ring, right next to Seth Rollins, who then capitalized and got the upper hand. There's rookie mistakes, WWE, then that was just really silly bollocks that didn't make any sense there. If you know what happened there, please let me know in the comments below. It made Dom look like a right fool. And like 2 points ago, speaking of Daddy, when Seth Rollins whapped out the handcuffs, yes, I concede they weren't fluffy pink handcuffs, but they're handcuffs all the same. Was anybody else hearing inside their deranged head? Or was it just me, after one too many cups of coffee, a really kinky Seth Rollins, saying right to Dominik, Dom, I am your daddy. I'm going to dom you, Dom. Oh, what the hell is my life? No, just me? I'm going mental. And I tell you what, somebody is going to get fired for that one slipping through the net. That was on the screen for a very, very long time. Everybody saw it. Champion's advantage once again, but this time it's even more worse. In the second match involving the Golden Role Models. Pamela, I'm coming after you once again. Why the hell did you not hop in that ring after one, maybe two, at a push 3 seconds, ending that match via DQ and keeping the Raw Women's title around Sasha Banks' waist? You'd kept your title, your job was done. The only thing that matters to you, that was in the bag. That was secure. But Sasha Banks' title? Why did you not do anything? And I'm only making this a WTF moment because up until last week's SmackDown, the signs of a turn between the pair of them, it's been very, very subtle. And it seemed to go away in the midst of that SmackDown Women's title match at SummerSlam 2020. This is a WTF moment because I thought heels were supposed to be clever. They proved they're not. And after that power bomb right there and the splat that happened on the floor, and after the kick to the head that followed that horrible power bomb to the floor, and with Asuka working both shows during this pandemic era, I'm now convinced the WWE are trying to kill off Asuka. That's it. That's the WTF moment. That match between Sasha and Asuka, while it was absolutely fantastic, as it was always going to be with those two lasses involved, it was absolutely brutal at points. Brutal. A Randy Orton golden shower. You love to see it, don't you? And then we have Shawn Michaels, of all people, saying that he finds himself somebody who never wants to wish bad luck on anybody else. Oh, hey man, Shawn. You're Shawn Michaels, you piss taker. And yes, we've got to make the finish of that WWE Championship match a huge WTF moment. And yes, I know the tagline for SummerSlam 2020 was "You'll never see it coming." And I don't think anybody within the WWE universe saw a backslide. A backslide ending that match between Daddy Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton. After everything that has gone on in that storyline, I was expecting some kind of decapitation, not a backslide. That one crapped the better bit, in my opinion. Do you agree? Let me know down there. And they did not forget about Keith. Everybody sing it with me as loud as you pissing can. Don't you forget about Keith. Raw, 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 Raw. Turns out losing the NXT title, it isn't all bad. And I don't know about you, but to me, Braun Strowman looks like right there, he's just had a massive spoonful of Vindaloo and it's blown his bloody head off. Two things happened in that swamp fight between Braun Strowman, the monster, and Bray Wyatt, the Fiend, said Michael Cole. Those two things, of course, according to Michael Cole, were the re-emergence of the Fiend and the birth of this brand new naughty Braun Strowman, Baldy Strowman. And I'm making this a WTF moment because Michael Cole did not mention the murder, did he? The murder that saw Braun Strowman dragged down to the depths of that swamp and drowned by the Fiend. That definitely happened, or maybe it didn't. And I know that Braun Strowman is back and better than ever, and that murder took place within the realms of a dream or a trip after a snake bite. I still don't know what happened there, but it's a massive detail for Michael Cole to miss off. I'm sure you might agree. Now you know how this show I'm presenting right now to your faces is called What the Fur? You know what the F is. What the fur moments. Well, clearly, in this moment right here, we saw Braun Strowman shouting at the top of his big, bold lungs, "What the fur?" And God love Michael Cole. I know he had to. I know he had to do it because WWE, you cannot say the F word and all that. But I've got to make it a WTF moment, as I'm sure everyone at home who quite clearly saw Braun Strowman say, "What the fur?" only for Michael Cole to try and cover his train tracks. He is a big train, isn't he? To try and claim that Braun Strowman was saying, "What do I have to do?" Fantastic stuff. We all saw Michael. We all saw poor bugger. And then we have Michael Cole claiming, "I've never seen this side of Braun Strowman," as Braun Strowman quite simply beats up another man. And when Michael Cole said that, I put my head firmly into my hands, because over the past few years, we've seen Braun Strowman, first of all, try to murder Roman Reigns so many times. In storyline, of course, in storyline. He's also tried to murder so many motormobiles by pushing them over so they can't get back up. He's also tried to murder Brock Lesnar and Kane with a massive metal structure. Do you need me to go on? No, you do not, dear viewer. Michael Cole, we have seen this side of Braun Strowman before. In fact, it's the only side of Braun Strowman we ever see. Now hang on, everybody. Just imagine you are Braun Strowman. Just imagine this man, monster, cartoon character, children's TV presenter thing has made you lost the plot. He's made you do things you never would have done before. He's made you into a bad man. On top of all that, he's tried to kill you, maybe by dragging you down to the bottom of a swamp. You find yourself in the ring at SummerSlam 2020 with this man, monster, children's TV presenter, cartoon character thing, and you get your hands on a massive F-off blade. That's the only way to describe it, a massive F-off blade. Do you A, take this massive F-off blade and stab a bitch? Stab a bitch right in the throat? Or do you B, take that massive F-off blade and cut up the ring and do some carpentry or something like that? You know what Braun did? He cut open the ring and did some arts and crafts or something like that when he quite simply could have cut a bitch. What was he doing? He looked like a massive idiot. And I know what you're saying, Ross, it's pro wrestling, it's a children's TV show by and large. We cannot be seeing that on a WWE pay-per-view. Well, I'm asking the question, why get that prop involved in the match anyway? Well, it made no sense. It made Braun look silly. What he could have done with that thing? What am I doing with that? I've got no idea. Braun should have stabbed Bray. I'm standing by it. Or WWE, instead of getting a massive blade inside the ring, get Braun Strowman to pick up a big comedy mallet. We all love a big comedy mallet, don't we? No. And speak about you'll never see it coming. He came back. It was lovely to see that magnificent bastard once again. The big dog, the big dog Roman Reigns returns at SummerSlam 2020. And my God, what a monster he is these days. First of all, the physique. Hoo-ah, as Roman Reigns would say. Absolutely fantastic shape. And second of all, he's got brand new teeth. Hoo-ah, once again, as Roman Reigns would say. He already looked like a 10 out of 10 to begin with. Now he's a 10.5. And also, speaking about things I didn't see coming, let's round off these WTF moments for SummerSlam 2020 by mentioning a thing I didn't see coming, and that was no Alexa Bliss being involved in that main event match, when Alexa Bliss has played an integral part in this Bray Wyatt versus Braun Strowman storyline. I'm sticking by it, everybody. We did not see a face turned by the Fiend. We saw a still heel Fiend manipulate Alexa Bliss, get what he wanted from, making Braun Strowman into a crazy bad man, but the Fiend remained heel. And Alexa Bliss wasn't there. I thought she was going to align with Bray Wyatt to cost Braun Strowman, but it never happened. Not including Alexa Bliss in that match, to me at least, was a massive oversight. And I think that's it for your WTF moments from SummerSlam 2020. The time here in the UK is now 5:38 in the morning. I am absolutely cream crackered. Thank you once again for continuing to support everything we do here at Cultaholic, potentially for the last time if you don't like it. He's been Gimmick Infringement Kane. I have been Ross Twaddell. Let me know of any WTF moments I missed and ruin my Monday. Anyway, that's it. Thank you very much for your time. I'll see you next time on Tuesday for some Raw WTF moments. Whew, bye.